Okay, I just pulled I had the lid and the gasket in the sanitizer. I put the gasket in place, re-soaked it for about a minute, and now I've got it sitting here. I will soak it again real quick before I put it on the bucket. Well, this is how I do mine. This tote works great. I just take my bucket, submerge it, and I just keep rolling it for about 4 or 5 minutes. Star San, I've heard anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes of contact time is good enough. Spigot, I've already sanitized, ran sanitizer through it and put it in. So I'll just do this for 4 or 5 minutes while the boil's finishing up here. And then I will sit it on the towel I have on the table and sit the lid on top, and it'll stay sanitized. But to me, this is the easiest way to do it. I used to fill my bucket with 5 gallons of sanitizer and let it soak and put parts and stuff in it, but this is so much easier. And also those screens from US Plastics. Tell you what, they're really easy to clean, and then I just soak them in the sanitizer. It's just, they work phenomenal. I recommend anyone that uses plastic buckets, at least check them out. You don't have to order them. At least just check them out. The 600 to 400, they got them down to 100 micron. That is super, super fine. I think you'd have a hard time getting water to go through it, but I said the 600 works great. You wouldn't even need the 400, just the 600. Or maybe even 2 600s. But, I got a few more minutes doing this, and then I'm out to put the immersion chiller in. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. You know what? I'm going to throw in the Whirlfloc. You just can't get a boil like this on a stove top. I'm sorry. As I said before, I highly recommend, if you're going to brew beer, boil the full batch, get a propane burner. You just can't get a rolling boil like that on a stove. Even if you did 2 or 3 gallons, you get a good boil, but nothing like this. It's just, it's just far superior. But anyway, the Whirlfloc went in, and now I'm going to put in the immersion chiller, and it's got 15 minutes, and then I'll cool her down. Okay, immersion chiller's in. Cool it down a little bit, 15 minutes. Just kill the heat, crank up the water, cover it, let her cool for about 15 minutes. Should bring it down to 66, 67 degrees. Okay, just cranked up the immersion chiller, seriously, not more than, it took me about a minute and a half to get it cranked up, foil on and everything else. And I'm down to, you can't see that, but about 165 already. If I'm going to brew any more in the summer, I'm going to add a length onto my chiller hose with another hose in fitting, and I'm going to hook it in my sprinkler and water my yard at the same time I cool my wort. But I'll peel the foam back here in about 5 minutes, stir it in the opposite direction the chiller goes, and let it cool a little bit more. So I'm figuring 10-15 minutes, she'll be down to about 66 where I want it. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. It's down to roughly 66, 67 degrees. Pull the immersion chiller. What I do is I got my bucket, I keep it in. I put 3 or 4 tablespoons of PBW, powdered brewery wash, in it. First turn on the chiller, I run it a little slow so the water's coming out. It's really hot. I fill my bucket, then I crank it up, the chiller, and cold water through it. As soon as I'm done, then what I do is I just put my chiller right in that PBW and it cleans it immediately. So I'll carry this in the house and start the Whirlpool. Okay, I'm in the house. I just finished whirlpooling it. Stirred it for about 2 minutes. Got a really good Whirlpool going. Hopefully, they say all the brake and hop sludge kind of settles toward the middle. I'll let it sit 20 minutes. Then I'll start the siphon into the bucket. Everything's sanitized. I got the auto siphon sitting there. My bucket's already been sanitized. I got the aeration stone on the hose that's sanitized. There's the pump ready to go. It's not plugged in, but 20 minutes I'll start siphoning. Okay, I got the siphon started. I'll tell you what, doing this by myself, this is kind of a pain. That's why I said if you can get a pot, get it drilled and get the ball valve, it's so much easier. Anyway, there it goes. It's into my filters, into my bucket. See a little hop sludge there. Picked off the bottom, and the filters do a really good job of holding that back. So as soon as it's all siphoned, I will start my aeration. Okay, siphon's done. Tell you what, look at all that hot brick and everything in there. There's not much left, but siphon did it. The filters do a really good job. I got a little bit of sludge, but like I said, it trapped all of it. Now I got the aeration system running, the aquarium pump, HEPA filter. It's into the bucket. You can see it going away. I'll give this 20 minutes and then kill it and pitch the yeast and put it in the fermentation chiller. Okay, I'm done aerating. Really good job of really putting a lot of air in there. Good 20 minutes. Just dunk the yeast in the sanitizer for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. I'm getting ready to add it, so I'll put the yeast in right now. Okay, it's been about 24 hours, so let's pop the lid on the chiller here and see what we're at. Got a little flashlight here I'll turn on. Oh yeah, it's bubbling pretty good. I think it looks like everything went okay. 66, yep, maintaining temperature. I got it set at 67. It'll drop a degree or two and whatever, so let this finish fermenting, and the next step's bottling. And I'll talk about that black ale I did. Basically took the same recipe. I had a little more mold in it last time and bumped up the hops, but I wanted to make a basically a Schwartz ale. I love Schwartz beer, and what I really wanted to do was a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't drink dark beers. Oh, I don't. Oh, they're too strong. They're too bitter. They're too this." So took my basic blonde, made it black, and I was shooting for just a faint background roast flavor. And I tried some of the liquid out of the hydrometer test vial. It came in at 115, just where it was supposed to be. Anyway, tried some of the liquid, and it was perfect. If it stays that way during bottle condition, I think I nailed it. So the background roast flavor was just faint, just on the back of your tongue. You picked up just the slightest little bit of roast, and I think it's going to be perfect. So until next time, thanks for watching, and see ya.